Well, hello there. This is Skip McCoy with Riversoft University. This segment is about managing AR and, in particular, adjusting invoices and creating copays. I'm going to go into the Manage Invoices feature. I'm going to choose an invoice here and show you about adjusting an invoice. Highlighting the invoice and clicking Adjust Invoice brings up that screen. And you can either enter a new invoice amount or an adjustment amount, whichever way your brain works, in order to adjust this invoice. I'm going to put in a $10 increase. And when I did that, Riversoft automatically made the other field, calculated the other field so that it would reflect a $10 adjustment. Now, if instead of doing a $10 adjustment, I wanted the invoice after amount to be $290.40. That's a $100 adjustment. So whichever way your brain works, you key either the new invoice amount in or the adjustment out. Adjustment types, there's write-offs, contractual allowances, accrued interest, and that's when this person's owed you money for a long enough period of time that you've actually added interest onto the bill and when you want to increase the invoice, and then all other invoice adjustments. Now, write-offs are special because if you choose write-off, we're going to want a write-off reason. And the reason we want a write-off reason is because you're probably going to want to report on the categories of write-offs so you can get a handle on why you're having to write off debt. That report is over here in the sales report. And it's one of the sort reasons. In order to show your invoice adjustments, you just unclick on items, unclick on item adjustments, and you're just going to show your write-off invoice adjustments. And to categorize them, you would choose invoice adjustment subtype. And so that will actually give you totals of each category within your write-offs. Okay, so back to the invoice adjustment. I'm actually doing an invoice adjustment. I'm going to do a $10 adjustment for that for accrued interest. And when I save adjustment, I just got a brand new version of this invoice, and let's take a look at it. And there's my accrued interest adjustment for $10, so it bumped the invoice up by $10. Okay, another type of invoice adjustment which is important is for Medicare. So I'm going to go ahead and choose Medicare and choose this. Dies more. When we're doing a Medicare adjustment, normally when we process an 835 file, which includes a payment and cash applications, we're automatically going to adjust your invoices to equal the cash that Medicare sent you. But we also want you to categorize your end of episodes. We want you to do that because the Medicare cost report wants figures based on episode types or categorization of episodes. And if this episode has not been categorized, it'll have a little question mark right here. To categorize it, you just go to Adjust Invoice. You don't even have to put an adjustment amount in because it's probably already adjusted to what they paid you. Choose PPS episode categorization and then choose one of these categorization types. And when you save that, you get a version 2 of this invoice. And notice there's no difference to the outstanding amount of the invoice. It's just got an adjustment on it that categorizes it. Now, why do you categorize it? Because over here on the PPS episodes report, when we're generating a report of your Medicare and PPS episodes, the last page of this beautiful report gives you the categorization of your episodes. You'll be using this report extensively to do your Medicare cost report. Okay, that's all there is to adjusting invoices. Now there's another type of adjustment that will do two kinds of adjustments. It actually adjusts the invoice you're on, and it creates a brand new invoice, and that's called the Create Copay. So I'm going to go back to this one, Fluker. Okay, you do use a Create Copay for two reasons. One is maybe the client has a responsibility to pay $10 or $20 or $25 of the bill. That's a copay. You might also have a situation where you have multiple payers that you're going to collect from for one set of services. You would create the bill for the primary payer, and then you would create a copay for any secondary payer that you're going to try and collect from. That's how you can split the responsibility of paying one invoice across multiple payers. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to create a $10 copay for Barbara Fluker. I do that by clicking Create Copay. I'm going to put in the copay amount, and I'm going to bill that $10 to self-pay. And when I save this invoice for Medicaid is going to be decremented by $10, and then I'm going to get a brand new invoice, a self-pay invoice for Barbara Fluker for $10, all in one step. Okay, and there's where it happened right there. If I look at this invoice, you'll see this has actually been decremented by $10, and that $10 now exists in your accounts receivable on this invoice right here. So that's how simple copays are. Okay, if you build the wrong payer on the original invoice and you just should have billed another payer, that's not a copay. That's just a bad invoice that you want to unbill or rebill to the correct payer. And rebills and unbills are covered in the next video called Managing AR, Rebills and Unbills. So please watch that video. This has been Skip McCoy for Riversoft University, signing off.